tacos? Well, that doesn't fit the brief. But this is the only roasting happening on Taco Bell. Another former employee sealed his own fate in 2012 when he posted a picture on social media of him urinating on a tray of nachos. In the end, this taco takeaway was dismissed from the restaurant, but there's still a question. Like, ask me, that stream of me looks a little off-center to be actually coming from this, trouser statement, suggesting it might be juice coming from a bottle, which would be a somewhat pleasant relief. But whether it was a harmless prank or not, one thing's for sure, when employees are up to mischief, Taco Bell is so shoppers. Is there anything better than taxing a robot versus maintenance? There's some of this almost shut the line. You resist. Well, after you see the being nibbled on by robots, yep, in 2021 at a Sainsbury's supermarket in Essex Road, London, these rats seem to be enjoying their continental breakfast to the horror of all. We got the interest of took action, closing the store for a visit from the cleaners and pest control. Sainsbury's assured him that hygiene is the most important thing to them. Though with that many old business, I think it'll take a while to regain the public's trust. Ironically, the store recently rebranded their slogan to helping everyone eat better, which apparently includes rats too. But jokes aside, keeping the rodents at bay can be an impossible task. Some sources claim that in built-up areas, you're never more than 20 feet away from a rat. And with even the most defensive measures in place, where there's food, rodents are to be expected to some degree. In fact, U.S. food law factors rodents into their sales safety legislation, with 11 rodent hairs allowed per 25 grams of paprika, 4.5 hairs per 225 grams of noodles, and 4 hairs per 25 grams of curry powder, among others. So while I could give Sainsbury's the benefit of the doubt for their rat problem, I'll still think twice about buying unpackaged baked goods. That's not what I ordered. Guess what I ordered? In 2008, worker John Agnes found something totally unexpected inside his Subway sandwich. John was horrified when he tugged into his sandwich only to find a 7-inch knife baked into it. Luckily, John managed to spot the unsolicited sandwich filling before it did a number on his mouth. But while John wasn't wounded by the knife, its filthy plastic handle had partially melted into the sandwich, causing John to become violently ill for 3 hours. But how could this possibly have happened? Perhaps some half-asleep employee haphazardly misplaced their knife in John's sandwich? It's unclear whether this was a genuine mistake or a terrible practical joke, but either way, it seems John got the last laugh as he was awarded a hefty $1 million in compensation. Which, if you ask me, sounds totally worth the 3 hours of vomiting. Teriyaki intruder. By this point in the video, you probably realize rats love food. So much so that sometimes they become the food. Yep, in 2019, one day Yanira Cortez bought her daughter a portion of teriyaki chicken from the Ohio restaurant. In Japan, she was horrified to realize that some of the chicken was actually a baby rat. Yanira's daughter's friend, who spotted the teriyaki intruder, immediately went to the bathroom to vomit and lost her appetite for days. Take a look at the clip.
Spoken
I think you
echoes
might
of
just
Queen
feel the same.
Malika linger
Esto es
here as well.
increíble. Miren lo que
Shall
acabo
I
de
share them
encontrar
with you?
aquí en esto.
In
Una
Marika's
rata
brave
cocinada.
warriors,
Oh my God, qué
our guidance
asquerosidad.
hath delivered ye
Mira,
through. Put the
está
giants to the
cocinada.
sword and
La
confine
cara.
with
Oh my
retinue
God.
Irandish.
¿Ya vieron?
We're almost there. The flame of ruin. I'm glad it was you. I must tender my thanks to Torren. Thank you.
No.
Please continue to
This
lend your
cooked
aid.
rat rests in
There
pieces
is
in the meal,
something my
and just seeing its
purpose is
severed
to
body and
now.
exposed guts is enough to put
I have set
anybody
my
off teriyaki
heart
chicken for
upon
life.
the world,
After
regardless.
taking to
I
social
won't
media to
allow
warn people
anyone,
about the
not
Japanese
even.
restaurant, Yanira's viral video prompted health
Shall I
officials to
connect my
inspect
head? Share
and
them with
subsequently
me.
close the Ohio restaurant. Ironically, they failed to find any further evidence of rodents in the building, though they did spot flies, cockroaches, and sewage backing up through the floor drains. I'm not sure which is worse, the cooked rat or the presence of poop in the kitchen where they were cooking the rats. Let me know what you think in the comments. Filthy Chinese restaurant. If that last story didn't convince you that restaurants don't always have the cleanest kitchens, then this next one definitely will. In 2015, deep cleaner William Panzino uploaded a video tour of a grimy restaurant in Littleton, New Hampshire, called Asian Garden. Having prior to the video, and Zeno was certainly unimpressed to say the least. This is the Asian Garden in New Hampshire. Littleton, New Hampshire. You guys like Chinese food? This is how it's prepped right here. Food goes up the filters. This restaurant was cleaned by us 3 months ago, and this is what it's done in 3 months. See all that? All the grease there dripping? Yeah, that was delicious. Yeah. You got carrots and beef and all that other crap. They've got meat with your vegetables, and they set the pan on top of the meat. They serve you this. Cross-contamination right there, that's against the law. It's a wall. And over here, where they prep your sugars and salts and more of your sauces. How'd you like a little extra protein? Look at this. It's so hard to clean once in a while. What we got under here? Or do I dare move it? Oh, I can't even. Oh, there we go. The whole kitchen is coated with grime and dripping grease due to a lack of regular basic cleaning alongside intense cooking with oil. As you may know, oil isn't water soluble, so when it evaporates, it creates a thin layer of grease wherever it comes into contact. This sticky residue then invites dust, dirt, and bacteria to stick to it, which left unclean can result in some extremely vile states like this. Look at the handle. Just an example of their amazing hygiene. These are your clean dishes, well, what they call clean. Look what's above them. You see all this right here? This pipe had crap all over it falling right into your dishes. You see right there? All that. It falls right onto your dishes and you eat it. All spun state of the kitchen. William posted the video online, which has since accumulated over 3 million views. And as expected, many were quick to express their disgust at the restaurant's hygiene standards. One user even wrote, "I'm on a diet right now, but I watch this video every time I have the urge to eat unhealthy. So far, it's worked like a charm." I might just have to give that a try. The centipede and the scorpion. For most, it's a pretty standard procedure to wash cooked veg before eating it. What with it being grown outdoors, who knows how many germs can be lurking, right? Or scorpions and centipedes, for that matter. One person in 2019 came across these aforementioned creepy crawlers in their alongside fruit and shared the cringeworthy footage of them scuttling about. Safe to say, I wouldn't be in the mood for alongside fruit after seeing that. This video was posted anonymously, so there's little information available. But what I can tell you is alongside fruit and vegetables are pretty common in the Philippines. So if you're in the area, I'd wash my fruit very thoroughly if I were you.
Those who live in all the more.
Cheddar Chomper. Who doesn't love a little try before you buy? This rat, minding his own business, trying a little bit of cheese before he takes it to the checkout to pay for it, certainly seems to. Christopher Allison, who filmed this clip, is probably more of a buy now, try later kind of guy, as he decided to rat this little shopper out when he saw him chomping some cheese in an Illinois Food for Less store in 2019. Look at that. While Christopher maintained a lighthearted attitude about the situation, Food for Less weren't so lax. Made it known that they dealt with the issue at hand by destroying the affected goods, sanitizing the display, and of course having this unwelcome shopper escorted out of the building. Aw, didn't even give him a chance to pay. KFC's secret ingredient? Ah, KFC. Famed for its uniquely delicious taste. Legend has it that the secret KFC formula is made up of 11 top-secret herbs and spices. Maybe their unique flavor is attributed to something entirely different. In 2013, one KFC employee was pictured licking some of their delicious mashed potatoes, which leads me to think, is this what gives their food that special zing? I'm just playing around. With this picture in mind, who knows what other revolting shenanigans go on behind the counter. That said, KFC did clarify that nothing is more important to KFC than food safety. The employee involved was immediately terminated. So yeah, perhaps licking the food isn't the special ingredient. Or maybe it is, and you don't know who reveals that fact gets terminated. Better watch my back, in case the Colonel dummies. Burger King Creepers. Back in 2018, a Burger King franchise came under fire for having a rat-infested kitchen, and it was bad. Upon inspection, live rats were found and they made a few big whoppers of their own, in the burger buns, dry storage, and even the ice machines. Chantel Johnson, an employee at the store, came face to face with the new employees and decided to capture this short clip of the moment. Hey! Gross, right? And I can't help but wonder just how long these guys were here. Or even worse, how many more burger buns they snuggled themselves into. Video went viral and the fast food chain made sure to react quick. After Chantel had encouraged people to not eat at the restaurant, the premises closed for 3 days to ensure everything was spick and span, ready to welcome back hungry customers, and hopefully not hungry rats. Uber Eats for all. One of the greatest triumphs of mankind undoubtedly is the rise of food delivery services such as Uber Eats. It's never been so easy to have your favorite meals delivered to your doorstep, or rather, some of your favorite meal. Let me explain. Turns out you shouldn't be too trusting of the person delivering your food. In 2021, TikTok creator @Sarah from Florida shared a video showing an Uber Eats employee tucking into a customer's food, piling it up in his own little doggy bag, before packaging the rest back up for delivery. Shockingly, the employee loads his own Tupperware box, seals all the packaging back up, hops on his bike, and gets on with delivering the food to the customer, who was probably waiting excitedly, unaware of who tucked into their food first. This sly guy didn't go unpunished, though. In fact, it was later reported that he was fired, which, considering those sticky fingers of his, shouldn't come as any surprise. More concerning, though, is how many other delivery employees are out there doing this, flying under the radar, yet to be caught. Could you be getting a half-size portion? Maybe so, but on the bright side, it could be worse. After all, if I were a delivery driver, I hate to break it to you, but there would be nothing left to deliver. Hairy mouthful. Now this next story is one that just keeps getting worse as it goes along, and is not for the faint of heart. You've been warned. It comes from Redditor Womble's Mama and begins with her uncle, a health inspector in Australia. He received reports of a fish and chip shop that was apparently very dirty and serving food with chunks of hair in it. He went and inspected the restaurant unannounced, only to be greeted by the owner, a very hairy and sweaty man wearing a t-shirt, shorts, and no shoes. Her uncle concluded that the source of hair must have been coming from the cook and advised him to wear proper garments. He also suggested changing the oil in the fryer, as it was filthy and likely contaminated with all his hair. So the cook got to draining the oil right away while Wombles' uncle was still present, only to find something he'd misplaced a while back. His cat. That's right, his dead, deep-fried, and crispy cat, as Womble's Mama so eloquently described it. And the cook's reaction? Oh, that's where my cat went. You don't say. Redditor concluded by clarifying that the hair people had been having an effort wasn't the man's, but in their own words, the fur and flesh of a dead cat. Yeah, it's pretty heavy stuff. Just be grateful you're not one of the poor people who think about those mysterious ones. The stuff like that. Butts. So, I'm scratch. 2016. This McDonald's employee was caught butt naked while completing a customer's order. The customer made sure to mention the law. TikToker at Road this is since removed the clip. However, the original post titled "This employee had no knowledge about it." The guy interrupts her while she's in the zone, and she's completely not happy. As soon as her hand resurfaces from the rear end, she grabs a prize and puts it in the cat with this. Yeah. But this employee knows what she was doing. Butt sucker! Butt sucker! Butt sucker! What do you say about all this? whether they're trying to say no one can. Down in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching. Can ripen while on the tree. If not picked, they will simply fall from the branch while still not ripe. When picked, though, they will become soft and flavorful just like we love them. This happens because of the burst of ethylene produced by the fruit itself after picking. It's inhibited while the avocado is still on the tree. Tomatoes bought in supermarkets often have a weak flavor. It has to do with how they're grown and stored afterwards. Tomatoes are gathered when not fully ripe yet, and they ripen in the transportation containers and on the store shelves. But if they're stored at temperatures below 40 degrees Fahrenheit while not fully ripe, they lose a lot of their flavor. So, to keep them tasty, it's best to store tomatoes outside the fridge. Honey is probably the only food that can literally never go bad. If it's properly sealed with no air left in, it can go for millennia and still be edible. The oldest pot of honey ever found was 5,500 years old, next to the mummy of Winnie the Pooh. Nah, not really. Well,
today we take you on a fascinating journey through nature's laboratory, exploring part 2 of the top 10 unsettling crossbreeding events you were never taught in school. Prepare to be amazed as we delve into the unusual world of interspecies mixing. Starting off this list, in our number 10 spot, we have the mule. The humble mule, a creature born of a union between a male donkey and a female horse, is a testament to the incredible diversity of life and the possibilities of crossbreeding. This hybrid offspring has been an invaluable asset to humanity for centuries, embodying a perfect balance of strength, speed, endurance, and sure-footedness. Mules are remarkable creatures that beautifully combine the best characteristics of their parent species. However, the mule's hybrid nature comes with a biological cost. Typically, mules are sterile, a consequence that's commonly observed in hybrid species. This sterility stems from the mismatch in the number of chromosomes of their parent species, which prevents successful reproduction. Despite this genetic setback, mules have carved a very unique niche in human societies. Their remarkable abilities have made them indispensable in various sectors, including agriculture, transportation, and even warfare. The humble mule's contribution to human civilization is a testament to its resilience and adaptability, qualities that make this hybrid creature a fascinating subject of study. In our number 9 spot today, we have the Iron Age pig. Now, brace yourself for an animal so wild, it might as well have time traveled straight from the Iron Age to your screen. We're talking about the Iron Age pig, a real paradox born from a cross between your friendly neighborhood domestic pig and a not-so-friendly wild boar. You'd think, being half domestic, these little critters would be up for a snuggle, right? Well, wrong. Despite packing some serious resilience porcine bodies, these hogs are about as sociable as a grizzly with a toothache. Their aggression levels are dialed up to 11, making them about as farm-friendly as a pack of velociraptors. So, what's the moral of this little tiki tale? Well, it turns out playing Mother Nature isn't as easy as it sounds. The Iron Age pig experiment ended up being less eureka and more, a big snorting reminder that when it comes to tampering with the blueprints of life, maybe we should leave it to the pros. In short, these bristly hybrids stand as living, grunting proof that not every trip down memory lane is a stroll in the park. In our number 8 spot today, we have the Henny. Picture this, the sprinting stamina of a racehorse and the stubborn grit of a donkey, all rolled into one. Welcome to the fascinating, if a bit troublesome, life of a Henny. This peculiar beast is what you get when you mix a male horse's speed and a female donkey's tenacity. Despite the fact that they could probably outlast a marathon runner and have lifespans that would make the tortoise nod in approval, Hennies don't exactly have it easy. For starters, they usually can't have little pennies of their own. Yeah, nature hit them with a sterile tag, just like the mules. And then there's the elephant in the room. Or should we say the horse and donkey in the room. They've got a mom who's petite and a dad who's, well, horseier. The mismatch is like trying to blend a sports car with a minivan. The result is awkward. In the end, the life of a Henny is a cautionary tale straight from nature's own genetic soap opera. A clear memo that when it comes to stirring up the gene pool, sometimes you might end up with a cocktail that's a little bit more bitter than sweet. In our number 7 spot today, we have the Savannah Cat, a product of love or science. Between a domestic cat and a serval, this feline is a strange cocktail of domestic cuddles and wild prowling. These guys don't do things by halves. They are the true embodiment of go big or go home. And by big, I mean double the size of your regular tabby, akin to swapping your cuddly kitten for a mini panther. And these bigger bodies house some pretty wild tendencies. A bit like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, but in feline form. However, this mix of house pet and wildcat isn't just a spectacle, it's a little bit of a ticking time bomb. Let's face it, nobody wants their morning coffee interrupted by their pet tiger, cat, chasing local wildlife or causing a ruckus. It's this fine line between awe-inspiring and eyebrow-raising that makes the Savannah Cat a ethical puzzle in the world of crossbreeding. In our number 6 spot today, we have the mule bird. The mule bird is a one-of-a-kind melody maker born from the union of a canary and a goldfinch. A musical marvel, you might say. But hold on to your feathers, because this birdie's tale is as unsettling as it is intriguing. You see, the mule bird is not just another chirper in the apiary. It's an aria virtuoso, belting out tunes that would make even Pavarotti's heart flutter. But, as they say, every rose has its thorns, and our songbird friend here comes with its own bittersweet symphony. For all their musical prowess, mule birds are the tragic heroes of the bird world. Despite their captivating chorus, they've been dealt a cruel hand by nature, or should we say, by us. They're sterile, forever singing solos without the chance to create a choir of their own. And this is where we, the audience, have to take a bow. We bred these birds for our amusement, crafting a creature that could never craft a lineage of its own. A poignant reminder of the Pandora's box that is crossbreeding, where human curiosity can sometimes strike a discordant note. In our number 5 spot today, we have the Lepon, whatever you prefer. It's a magnificent creature that'll leave you both fascinated and slightly disconcerted. A head like a regal lion, complete with a majestic mane, paired with a sleek and agile leopard body. It's a blend of two of nature's most iconic feline species, resulting in a mesmerizing and puzzling spectacle. The Lepon's rarity is truly a sight to behold. You won't find these hybrids roaming the wild. They are a product of human intervention, born in captivity, where biology took a turn down a very peculiar path. It's a reminder of the lengths we humans sometimes go to bend nature to our will. Apparently, we couldn't resist the temptation to create such a majestic mashup, but let's not forget the questions this creature raises. Does the Lepon represent a triumph in human ingenuity or a meddling with Mother Nature's design? Should we be playing Dr. Frankenstein with the building blocks?
This world is in dire need of death. Are you prepared to commit? Very well, let my hand. tree. You shall burn. Burn for the sake of the new Lord. Thank you for guiding me here. The one who walks alongside flame shall one day meet the road of destined death. Goodbye.
Nature's design. Should we be playing Dr. Frankenstein with the building blocks of life? These are philosophical ponderings that tickle the brain as we admire these hybrids. In our number 4 spot today, we have the Narluga, mostly on this list just because I wanted to say the word Narluga. Prepare to have your senses confounded as we delve into the depths of this peculiar crossbreed, born from the unlikely fusion of a narwhal and a beluga whale. Through the marvels of scientific scrutiny, DNA analysis of these very peculiar-looking whale skulls has confirmed the existence of the Narluga. Let me tell you, this hybrid is not your ordinary seaside mashup. It's a creature that walks the line between awe and unease. Imagine a majestic narwhal, his sleek body elegantly adorned with a spiraling tusk, entwined with the playful charm of a beluga whale. It's a fantastical creation that seems to defy nature's conventional boundaries, leaving us both mesmerized and slightly unnerved. As we gaze upon this remarkable example of crossbreeding in wild cetaceans, we can't help but wonder, what other surprises does nature hold? Are there more uncanny blends lurking beneath the surface? In our number 3 spot today, we have a growler bear. This enigmatic creature, born from the extraordinary union of polar bears and grizzly bears, is a captivating blend of nature's mightiest beasts. As climate change wreaks havoc on our planet, the boundaries of bear territories are being reshaped. Polar bears, driven by warming temperatures, venture further south, while grizzlies, seeking cooler climates, migrate north. And lo and behold, in the midst of this changing landscape, the territories of these noble creatures begin to overlap, leading to the emergence of rare hybrids, the growler bears. With their unique combination of traits, the growler bears possess the adaptability of both the open tundra and the dense forests. They're like nature's bold experiment in a climate change adaptation, straddling the line between two contrasting habitats. It's a very fascinating glimpse into the way that these magnificent creatures navigate the shifting world that they inhabit, but let's not forget the disconcerting undertone. The very existence of the growler bear highlights the plight of these majestic species, forced to intermingle due to the encroaching impacts of climate change. In our number 2 spot today, we have the Kama. Through the power of artificial insemination, the Kama communicate to existence, a blend of the camel's imposing size and strength with the llama's more manageable temperament. It's a very bizarre concoction that raises both eyebrows and curiosity. Just imagine a creature roaming the earth with the body of a camel and the endearing charm of a llama. A sight to behold indeed. Yet in the grand tapestry of hybrid creation, the Kama remains a very uncommon marvel. Only a few of these extraordinary beings grace our world, making them a very elusive sight, even among the vast array of crossbreeds. Their rarity adds an air of mystique to their existence, leaving us with a sense of wonder and yet a hint of unease. While the intention behind the Kama's creation was to combine desirable traits, we can't help but question the boundaries we push in the name of scientific exploration. What does it mean to meddle with nature's design, reshaping creatures for our own purposes? The Kama serves as a reminder that with great power comes great responsibility. In our number one spot today, we have the Jag Lion, a magnificent blend of a male jaguar and a female lion, boasting a combination of very powerful physical traits and stunning markings. But as we marvel at this majestic creature, let us not forget the deeper ethical complexities that lurk beneath its mesmerizing surface. The Jag Lion is a rare gem, a product of human intervention in the delicate world of crossbreeding large cat species. Its existence serves as a stark reminder of the ethical quandaries that arise when we meddle with the natural order of things. While the Jag Lion captivates us with its undeniable beauty, it also forces us to question the impact of our actions on the creatures that roam this earth. Sure, the Jag Lion is truly a sight to behold, with its fierce jaguar traits melded seamlessly with the regal presence of the lion, but we must pause and reflect upon the intricate web of consequences that follow such hybrid creations. Is it right for us to manipulate nature's course, blurring the lines between species and tampering with the delicate balance of ecosystems? Let me know down below. Alright guys, that has been our list for today. Thanks so much for checking it out. I've been your host today, Olivia Kozlowski, and I will see you again soon. Bye!
Pop quiz. What's the name of the smallest country in the world? I'll give you a hint. It's also the heart of one of the biggest religions on the planet. You know, the home of a guy who mostly wears flowing white robes and gets driven around in this incredibly swag custom Jeep. You already guessed? That's right, I'm talking about Vatican City, often simply called the Vatican. The holy city only covers 121 acres. That's just 14% of New York's Central Park, and contains a tiny population of around 800 people. But it's here religious legacies such as the beautiful St. Peter's Basilica are found, making it a spiritual center for Roman Catholicism. But for all the prayers and blessings, the walls of this city also hold a hoard of sinister secrets. From forbidden archives to sacred scams, it's time to grab your flashlights as we explore some dark secrets of the Vatican that the Pope would rather stay hidden. Unidentified holy objects. The Catholic Church is one of the oldest institutions in the Western world, with origins dating back over 2,000 years. And in that time, it's collected several centuries worth of documents. However, these documents are not open to the public. Instead, they're kept in a mysterious vault known as the Vatican Secret Archives. It's a huge storage space adjacent to the Vatican Library, containing 35,000 volumes of catalogs and 53 miles of shelving. I bet Tom Hanks is glad he didn't have to sprint down that endless hallway whilst shooting the Da Vinci Code. But even Tom Hanks is forbidden to enter, as these archives are only accessible to scholars once they are 75 years old. Given the average life expectancy ranges from 81 to 83 years of age here, that only offers an exceptionally narrow window for academic study, given that PhDs can take years to complete. Though some hard-working scholars have managed to successfully unearth some incredible documents from the archives, such as a letter from Mary Queen of Scots, who, after being forced to abdicate her throne, was seized. Mary wrote to Pope Sixtus V, not at all, begging for aid, but the Pope left her on red and ignored her letter entirely. Mary was then famously beheaded on February 8th, 1587. The secret archives also contain a document that literally changed the course of European history. It's the official excommunication of Martin Luther, the German priest who divided Europe with his 95 theses and created the Protestant division of Christianity. The Vatican keeps more receipts of its exes than Taylor Swift. And it's the Vatican's receipt-keeping that calls for the strict security and privacy of the archives. They're designed to house the Holy See's official paperwork, along with any of the Pope's correspondence with other official figures. And there remains literal miles of other archives yet to be explored, with all this mystery, naturally, conspiracy theories about what the Some people claim that the Vatican may be concealing evidence of UFOs down there, and that they even have a secret stash of alien skulls. And these conspiracy flames were fueled in October 2007 when a series of images were captured that appeared to be or mist flying over St. Peter's Basilica. Had the Vatican been secretly Valentino's mothership all along? Unfortunately, that's not the case. And this bright orange flying saucer is more likely sunlight reflecting on the plane, or good old-fashioned Photoshop. Failing that, it's the Photoshop. It would certainly make Photoshop fly. So while there's no concrete evidence that aliens ever touched down in the Vatican, the many miles of unexplored archives teams pull out an extraterrestrial content of the grave grudges. Probably heard stories of people taking grudges to the grave. Well, bottling up all that anger and being very limited seems like a waste of energy, in my opinion. But that's where the Vatican is. It turns out the papacy held grudges that can extend to the end of your life. No, seriously. In a battle between popes, Pope Stephen VI put the dead body of his predecessor, Pope Moses. Now, this is a morbid tale of history that the Catholic Church is afraid to know about, as it reveals the Vatican's violence. This papal prosecution was known as Dapper's Synod, which literally translates to the corpse trial, and took place over 1,000 years ago, back in 897. Pope Formosus had only been in the ground for 7 months when he was unceremoniously dug up. His body was then dressed in ecclesiastical robes and propped up on the papal throne to be put on trial. Man, that courtroom must have stunk. I'm sure glad I wasn't there for jury duty. Aware that dead people aren't exactly talkative, a priest was appointed to speak on Pope Formosus's behalf. But you're probably wondering why on earth Pope Stephen VI was doing this. The official reason is that Pope Formosus was charged with the crime of violating church law, as he had served as Bishop of Rome while still the bishop of a different diocese, which is an area controlled by a bishop. But the real reason for this wacky power play was even crazier. It was a political stunt. You see, back in those days, the papacy possessed heavyweight political power. Only the Pope could appoint the Holy Roman Emperor, one of the most powerful positions in Europe at the time. The Holy Roman Emperor ruled over Germany, Austria, Switzerland, as well as regions of present-day France and Italy, and the person appointed to be emperor was something bitterly fought over by rival factions. Pope Formosus personally supported Arnulf of Carinthia. However, the candidate he was reluctantly forced to crown as emperor was Lambert, son of the Duke of Spoleto. The Spoleto family was incredibly influential and held strong ties to the then Cardinal Stephen. But then Pope Formosus turned the tables by inviting Arnulf of Carinthia to invade Italy. Arnulf successfully deposed Lambert, and Pope Formosus wasted no time in appointing him as the new Holy Roman Emperor. This bitter betrayal stung Cardinal Stephen and the Spoleto family. And once Pope Stephen VI rose to power, they wasted no time in getting their revenge by putting Pope Formosus' corpse on trial. He was declared guilty of crimes against the church, and all his acts as Pope were declared null and void. Following that, the corpse was then stripped of all its rich garments and dressed in rags. Even the 3 fingers he had used for blessings were cut off. Finally, the body was cast into the Tiber River, the place where you threw anything you wanted to permanently exile from society. But Stephen's petty revenge didn't last long either, as only a year and a half later, he was imprisoned and executed. Wow, who knew the papacy could be more dramatic than Game of Thrones? George R.R. Martin better start taking notes. Between a zombie pope trial and Vatican alien sightings, I'm not sure which sounds crazier. How about you? For the zombie trial, hit that like button. For the alien pope relations, hit subscribe. Alright, what do we got next? A hell of a guy. Detox treatments are all the rage these days, purging those nasty toxins from your body. Some people go on juice cleanses or take shots of apple cider vinegar, while kookier celebrities like Gwyneth Paltrow went on a 8-day goat milk cleanse. I feel sorry for the goat. But perhaps the ultimate detox is one recommended by the Vatican Church, as they offer to cleanse literal demons from your body. 500,000 people reportedly seek exorcisms every year in Italy alone, though this is a practice that remains deeply controversial amongst medical professionals. Despite expert warnings, the Catholic Church fully endorses exorcisms. That is, evicting demons from a person's body through the power of prayer. The Vatican even runs its own exorcism school. Every year, 250 priests from 50 countries arrive in Rome to learn how to identify demonic possession and how to perform exorcism rituals. The late world champion of demon wrestling was one priest known as Gabriel Amor, who acted as the chief exorcist of the Vatican. And during his tenure at the ministry, he performed over 160,000 exorcisms by 2013. Hang on, let's do some math here. He was ordained in 1954, so 59 years till 2013. That means he would have had to perform more than 7 exorcisms every single day of his 59-year career. That can't be right, can it? Well, to account for that insanely high number, Amorth believed that a person may be possessed by multiple demons at once, sometimes numbering thousands. It sure looks like he stared into the face of hell. However, there is a dark side to it, one the Vatican Church tries to hide. Some of the described symptoms of demonic possession are depression, anxiety, compulsive behavior, hearing voices, or seizures, all of which can also be the cause of undiagnosed mental illnesses, such as schizophrenia or a brain disorder like epilepsy. What's more, people are like sponges. We're receptive to the cultural influences we're raised in. So, someone suffering from schizophrenia, raised in a Catholic household, may suffer from hallucinations that revolve around religion. During a psychotic episode, they may think that they hear the voice of Satan, or believe they are the devil. And in such a case, those around them might make the mistake of calling for an exorcist rather than a doctor. Not only does this prevent the person from getting medical treatment, but it can also make their symptoms worse, because sometimes exorcisms involve the use of drugs or fasting, which can induce sickness and stress, scientifically proven to harm brain function. And over the past decade, several people have even perished after having exorcisms performed. In 2009, a woman in Fort Wayne, Indiana, attempted to exorcise 5 children by making them drink vinegar and olive oil before restraining them for an exorcism. But tragically, one did not survive the process, and the mother was rightfully sentenced to 61 years in prison. Aware of this issue, in 1999, the Catholic Church released its first major update to the rules surrounding exorcism since 1614. Here, they distinguished between demonic possession and physical or psychological illness. Many practicing priests today are aware of the importance of of having someone psychologically assessed before performing an exorcism. In addition, some exorcist advocates argue that for deeply religious people, performing an exorcism can be a cathartic process, making them more receptive to receiving medical treatment afterwards. Personally, I'd say people should always seek help from medical professionals first, but if I ever find someone crawling on the ceiling, I'll be speed dialing the local priest. Angels or demons? One of my favorite things to do at Christmas is to put the angel on top of the Christmas tree. A glittery figurine clad in a flowing white dress with golden wings. This is the image most of us probably picture when we think of an angel. At least that's what the Vatican would like you to believe. As it happens, biblically accurate angels are a whole lot stranger and scarier. Take cherubs, for example. Those chubby baby angels with little wings. Super cute. Except this version of a cherub is nothing like how they're described in the Bible. Rather, it's based off the Roman and Greeks' idea of the god of love, Cupid. Are you intrigued to see a theologically accurate cherub? Oh, and get ready for a beastly surprise. According to the prophet Ezekiel's vision, a cherub has 4 faces: a lion, ox, an eagle, and a human. They have 4 wings and hooved feet like polished brass. Wow, imagine putting that on a Hallmark holiday card. Ezekiel's other descriptions of angels include a wheel within a wheel. Each of their 4 rims were filled with eyes all around. Now, it makes a whole lot more sense why, when the first angel appeared to Joseph, it said, "Do not be afraid," before encouraging him to take Mary as his wife. Joseph must have been a super chill dude, as I'm not sure I'd want to take relationship advice from a creature straight out of a Lovecraftian nightmare. It's only in the later scriptures of Daniel and Genesis where the angels are described as something that appeared to be altogether more human. Unsurprisingly, the Catholic Church has chosen to advertise the human-like appearance of angels rather than these intelligent lookalikes. If you're wondering where the prophet Ezekiel's crazy ideas came from, some modern scholars believe that early Christians may have been under the influence of psychoactive herbs and mushrooms, which, considering the psychedelic beings they were seeing, makes a whole lot more sense. However, any links between Christianity and psychoactive influences is another secret the Vatican prefers to keep under wraps, as they have maintained a strict anti-drug policy for centuries. The only green herb the Pope approves of is mistletoe at Christmas. 4D glasses. If you had the choice, would you rather time travel to the future or the past? I'd choose the past. After all, they say hindsight is 20/20, and it certainly is when you have the Vatican's time-traveling glasses. No, I did not stutter. These time-traveling glasses, also known as the chronovisor, is a device that is the best-kept secret. It was said to have been invented in the 1950s by two Italian scientists, one of which was physics Nobel Prize winner Enrico Fermi. Another of the scientists, known as Pellegrino Ernetti, informed the public of the device's existence. The description of the device itself is rather vague, though Ernetti has stated it's constructed of 3 precious alloys, along with several cathodes, dials, and levers, with a screen and a recording device. The chronovisor was ingeniously engineered to act as a sort of time-traveling television, as it has the ability to tune into historical events and broadcast them in the present day. Ernetti has described watching speeches by Napoleon and plays performed in Rome. He claims it's even proven the existence of Jesus Christ by broadcasting his crucifixion. To back up his claims, he released photographs captured by the device, such as Jesus' agonized face on the cross. This is pretty unbelievable. So unbelievable, it's probably untrue. Let's dive into the reasons why many are skeptical of Ernetti's claims of a chronovisor device. Firstly, Nobel Prize-winning physicist Enrico Fermi was only linked to the project in 1990. Decades after his death, 2004. Even though Pellegrino Ernetti was also a scientist, he later became a Benedictine monk. Even more suspiciously, this time-traveling mechanism bears a striking resemblance to a device in L. Sherrod's science fiction book, E for Effort, a novel published in 1947, right before the chronovisor was reportedly invented in the 1950s. In his story, Sherrod describes in detail a time-viewing device that projects images of the past. Sound familiar? Well, the novel E for Effort has been reprinted many times, but the chronovisor machine has never been found. Instead, Ernetti has claimed that he dismantled the device to keep it out of the hands of evil. A pretty convenient excuse. But what of the photographic evidence of Jesus on the cross? Well, some journalists did some digging and discovered that this snapshot of Jesus is actually a reversed image from a postcard of a Jesus statue in the Santuario dell'Amore Misericordioso Church in Italy. Side by side, they look undeniably similar, don't they? Furthermore, if such definitive proof of Jesus' crucifixion actually existed, then releasing the entirety of this footage would be a definitive win for the Catholic Church. What with the rise of more and more people now identifying as atheist, agnostic, or otherwise non-religious, the Catholic Church may be falling out of favor. Undisputable proof of Jesus Christ would be a surefire way for the Vatican to amass even more devout followers. However, Ernetti failed to ever release this footage, undoubtedly because it never existed in the first place. Overall, it seems the chronovisor is a total hoax. But if it was real, what historical events of the past would you like to watch? Let me know down in the comments. Sweet cheese. In the modern era, with Cardi B dropping hits like WAP and Gwyneth Paltrow selling a candle that smells like her lady garden, the top of, let's say, intimate relations is becoming less and less taboo. Not enough for the YouTube algorithm yet, but we're working on it. However, there is one institution that remains staunchly prudish. The Catholic Church is fiercely conservative. They do not permit such relations before marriage or any means of artificial contraception. In addition, all Roman Catholic priests are required to remain celibate and never marry. This is to follow the example of Jesus Christ in being married to the Church instead. But it turns out, behind this straight-laced frontier, the Vatican has its own salacious secrets. The Pope may prefer to wear white, but hidden away in his offices is a room that will have the rest of us blushing red. It began in 1516, when Renaissance artist Raphael was commissioned to decorate a bathroom in the papal apartments for Cardinal Bibbiena. And unlike other holy men, Cardinal Bibbiena played fast and loose with the idea of purity, fascinated by raunchy pagan imagery unearthed in ancient Roman ruins. So he hit up Raphael to transform his bathroom from a squeaky clean space into a dirty shit. The panels were painted with portraits of Venus, the goddess of love, and Cupid, the god of desire, accompanied by naked nymphs being spied upon by lusty satyrs, creatures that were half man, half goat. And unlike Barbie and Ken dolls, all the paintings had their anatomy fully intact. It became known as the Stufetta della Bibbiena, or the small heated room of Cardinal Bibbiena. And even God doesn't want you to know what he got up to in there. Unsurprisingly, the rest of the Vatican loathed the artwork and have made numerous attempts to censor or erase it. At one weird point, the room was even made into a kitchen. But no doubt the sight of the satyr's junk put people off their food. So, the room was abandoned once again. Until finally, a Catholic art expert rediscovered the paintings in the mid-19th century and preserved them as part of Raphael's legacy. But to this day, access remains restricted, with the Vatican concealing its pervy past. And after 1870, this section of the palace was turned into the Pope's own residence. Cardinal Bibbiena's old bedroom is now used for official diplomatic meetings with visiting heads of state. Little do these politicians know what huge images are concealed inside the next room. So while the Catholic Church likes to preach purity, who knows what the Pope gets up to in the restroom between meetings? Gospel gangsters. those of us who have attended Sunday Mass, seen the collection plate going around, maybe you even chipped in $1 or two. After all, it's all for a good cause, or at least that's what you think, until you see your local pastor speeding down the highway into the lorry. Incredibly, that's exactly what happened. This money scamming scheme was run by an order of monks operating a shrine also known as or Mary the Protector. They raised a total of $250,000 in donations to this request. However, instead of spending the money on good causes, the monks went on shopping sprees. In addition, they procured more than $400,000 in donations meant to erect bronze memorial plaques to the shrine, when the funds were embezzled and spent on sports cars instead. The monks' greed didn't stop there, though. They even dipped into the order's cemetery fund, which is the legal requirement for perpetual care of burial plots and memorials. The monks illegally spent a $64,000 chunk. In less than a decade, the monks spent over $20 million on luxury goods and funded what was described as chaotic lifestyle. Eventually, the corrupt monks were discovered and the Vatican ordered them to turn over their televisions, stereos, cars, and in response, the monks prices of faith. The high scandal, John Paul II used all around the Vatican to pay more than $5 million to prevent the monks from the Vatican's very own bank has previously been caught red-handed in money laundering schemes. Back in 2018, prosecutors charged former Vatican Bank President Angelo Polonia and his attorney, Gabriele Uso, for embezzling $62 million through a real estate scam run between 2001 and 2008. Both were jailed for 8 and 5 years, respectively, for an institution based on faith and morality. There's a whole lot of doors. So how did the Vatican's finances fall so great? Well, the church's money-making schemes go back to the Middle Ages. Could say they were the original cryptocurrency that sold indulgence, aka free passes for sin. This money-making scheme became so commercialized that it ultimately ended in the Protestant revolt led by Martin Luther in 1517. Nevertheless, the Vatican continued funding itself through indulgences and donations from wealthy benefactors. However, priests don't make the best accountants, and the Vatican has found itself teetering on the edge of bankruptcy several times. And so, in 1929, Pope Pius XI appointed Bernardino Angara as chief financial advisor to the Vatican. Later, during World War II, he created the Vatican Bank. During the war, the Allies imposed strict restrictions on bank